Okay, hi. So, let's get started, shall we? I mean, it's super cold. It's super cold here. We did Pisces. We have to keep moving. The weekend happened, and now it's time to continue. Let's see who we got. We did Libra. Cancer. I guess it's like meant to be because I had actually I had actually done your reading halfway through, but the same night as Pisces. But I got sidetracked because my friends were messaging me from Nanaimo saying that the power had went out and all that wonderful stuff. And then I got super tired and I wasn't able to continue. So we're gonna get started with you there, Cancer. This is your read. Cancer. Cancer. You gotta focus. We're just not gonna focus, apparently. We're not gonna focus for you. So we'll try one more time. Cancer. There we go. Yeah. All right, Cancer. Everything you need to know is in the description box of the video. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I do not offer personal readings, and I have social media accounts, but they are personal social media accounts, which means I will never be reaching out to you from those for anything. You know, I just won't. I just won't be doing that. So let's get started, shall we? Let's do it. Let's do it to it. I gotta fix this because this is kind of annoying to me right now. I feel like I tore everything down, then I had to set everything back up, and now everything's just not the way it should be, and I'm really annoyed by it. Anyway, yeah, let's just get started. Also, the building behind me, they didn't put their lights on tonight. I wonder if it's because the weather is so cold. It's minus 16 degrees. It hasn't moved past minus 16 degrees. It hasn't gotten any warmer than minus 16 today. Oh, which is interesting. We're not doing songs for our general read. This is your general read for November. We're not gonna do songs. I'm gonna get another 100 cards and I'm gonna do more songs. And we'll do those for your love read. But we're not going to do those for the general read. Past, present, future is what we're going to do. Yeah, and we're using the Botticelli tarot for you. I have 3 decks on rotation. One is a new deck that I got when I was visiting my parents during Thanksgiving called the Revelations Tarot. And then for clarification, we're going to use probably the light deck from the Light and Shadow. The Tarot of Light and Shadow. Unless we hit the Cosmic Mirror card, and then we'll have to go into the dark side for you, okay? If you don't know your placements, you can always run your natal chart at a place like Cafe Astrology. Lots of places online where you can do that, but you do need to know the time that you were born in order to figure out like your, rising sign and stuff like that, which changes every 2 hours during your birth date, okay? All right, let's go. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus past energy moving into, we've got the 5 of Wands in the reverse. So coming out of conflict, you were in conflict about something. Might have been some conflict that you were engaged in during the recent past, not happening anymore. It seems that there's peace happening for you during this time. Followed by the Page of Pentacles, which is an apology or a peace offering. A timepiece also can be signified by the Page of Pentacles, which is called the Knave of Pentacles in this deck, which is why I almost called it the Knight of Pentacles. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Sorry, I keep looking this way because my camera's up there, and I should be looking at you. Sorry, it's distracting. It's all hell. In any event, yeah, coming from Calgary now, because this is where I live now. So this is where you're gonna see me all the time from now on. Let's just move this a little bit more this way. I'm really not liking my camera angle here. There's something annoying about this. Yeah. Okay, anyway, let's get started again. We'll just say that like 9,000 times, won't we? So what we have is we do have a peace offering, or we have timepiece. Something about a message that has to do with a contract of some sort. Something that's based in earthly energy, worldly energy. What do you see there? Okay. I think it's something that is coming out of, it's the wake of conflict. Out of the wake of conflict, you know, like there was the this could actually be an apology that you owed somebody, and you finally decided to grant them that apology. Or conversely, it could be an apology that was owed to you. Did I say that, or was it something that you owed somebody an apology for? There's a peace offering here. Okay. Oh, we didn't twist for fairness. We gotta twist for fairness. I always have to do that. What else in the past for you? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We almost had a card jump, but it didn't. I caught it in the deck. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What other energy is coming out in the past for you? Something about cherries. It's coming up. And the red western sky. Red western sky will follow you with my pagan hat. Tell me what to do. All the great ones change and the feet still bleed. I can't take this money. That just wouldn't be right. Strange to think somebody still cares. You've done somebody wrong, or you feel that you might have done somebody wrong, or it's just baffling to you that you think that somebody might still care. Yeah, Two of Cups. There was union in the recent past in between you and somebody else. Union. Coming into union with somebody. A meeting of the minds I'm getting here, though, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something of emotional fulfillment, but it did result in emotional fulfillment for both parties in this union. Really feeling like the apology was owed before this union could come together for the two of you. Like out of the wake of this apology came the union between you and somebody else. I don't understand why the hell that is on my table. I usually keep a very, very clean table so that I can read and not damage my cards. Yeah, there's something that you had to put on the table in order for things to move forward, seems. So look at this here. You see? The peace offering had to come. The truce had to come before the union of the two could happen. The meeting of the minds. It's emotionally fulfilling, though. What else? We have a flipper here. We have one on the table. Take the one on the table first. Has to do with legacy. Could be that you are finding that there is a path towards legacy. Do you see with the path there? You do realize that in this union there is a path towards a legacy that could happen for you. You do see a pathway forward that could lead to a promising future for you. But you also realize that there is work to be done. Either you or another person is acknowledging that there is work that must be done on mind, body, spirit. We're going to clarify. It's fine. There's continuity in the skies here, the red western sky. Red western sky. There's something important here about laying the firm foundation in order for the legacy to happen. Or perhaps you realize the work that must be done, the hard work that must be done. And this is either off-putting to you or it's off-putting to somebody else, but it's work that must be done in order for you to achieve the legacy. The path forward is a path like almost like a yellow brick road. You can see there with the pentacles, right? But that path forward, There's work that must be done, proper groundwork must be laid. And I feel like somebody in this situation is seeing that the proper groundwork has not yet been laid. There's a promising meeting here, but the proper groundwork hasn't been laid. What else? What else do we have for you? Cancer. I keep on wanting to say Pisces. There's Pisces involved, or you have Pisces in your chart. Or the person that you're dealing with in this union of the two has Pisces in their chart. I'm still a little sick, sorry. I'm getting over being sick. At least I hope I'm not getting sick again, because I have to travel back west on the weekend here. So I'm going back to Vancouver. Got some stuff to do, including I get to see Smashing Pumpkins. So I'm excited about that. That's like a bucket list concert. But Pisces is either on your mind or a part of this union of the two for you. Because I keep on wanting to say Pisces instead of Cancer. Knight of Cups in the reverse. I think you realize that the reason that you need to do this work, this Three of Pentacles in the reverse, the reason that you're very acutely aware that you have to do work on mind, body, spirit is because nobody's coming to save you. No parade, nobody's coming. Yeah. You realize that you've reached this point in your life where, in the very recent past, where nobody's coming in to rescue you. All of the romanticism is gone, and it's time to be practical and have your feet firmly planted on the ground and do the work yourself, lay the groundwork yourself. Nobody's going to swoop in and rescue you. Of course, it's a very noble idea to have somebody do those kinds of things, but at the same time, it's just not. There's a practicality missing when we have a Knight of Cups. And having this Knight of Cups that isn't here, it's actually helping you realize that that's not actually, it doesn't serve you to have somebody come in and consistently rescue you. You don't learn anything by doing that, you know? So there is no romantic action moving forward. There is no poetic action moving forward. The action moving forward has to be practical. And the proper groundwork has to be laid. There are no more shortcuts. Nobody's coming. You have to, it's all on you to make this union of the two work. I almost get the feeling that this is more of a business deal than a romantic union with the two people coming together. In the present, we'll see, we'll figure it out. In the present, Cancer, what do we have happening? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We have 4. They even came out just like this. Let's see what they are. Okay. I looked at this word here. Do you see the word? Sorry, do you see that word? I read it as Gewürztraminer. So there's something about wine that's important, Gewürztraminer, which is a very sweet wine. It's actually kind of disgustingly sweet, like flat apple juice. Sorry. Justice in the reverse. You feel that there's a lack of fairness in your dealings right now. Libra, a lack of truth. Something isn't fair, something isn't just. There might be dishonesty at play in the current energy, as well as communication. A lack of honesty in communication. Maybe there's a truce or there's an ending to conflict where there wasn't a lot of honesty and transparency and fairness going on. And there's an apology that has happened in the recent past as a result of that. Maybe a fessing up of sins, I'm hearing. Confession of sins. But there's communication here at hand. The communication has to happen in order for there to be a cleansing of that. Followed by a Four of Wands in the reverse. What this says to me with this Four of Wands in the reverse is that this union that's happened in the past, something's being communicated to you in the present about this not having firm foundations just yet. Remember I said in the recent past that you realize that there's groundwork that has to be laid. Proper groundwork has to be laid. There's practical work that has to be done, mind, body, spirit. And this could actually be about you needing to make sure that you're doing the proper work. Somebody communicating that to you. Perhaps about this union in specific. Like, I'll give you the pentacle. I'll give you the communication is here that I will give you the opportunity. I will give you the contract. I will give you the apology. I will give you the upper hand to create legacy, to go into this meeting of the minds, but you're going to have to be forthright. You're going to have to create the proper foundation, make sure the right steps are taken moving forward in order for this legacy to be created. Your issue seems to be patience. You don't have much patience. You want to just kind of go charging in. You're not really one who's looking at this time to survey the land and consider all perspectives with this Two of Wands in the reverse. It's almost like rather than holding on to the posts before you embark on the journey, you're ready to kind of go in guns a-blazing. There's an eagerness here, but it's an inappropriate eagerness. And I think that's what's troubling to you, is that you see the legacy before you, but it's almost like you want to get it before you've actually done the work. Could be get rich quick schemes. Something where you feel like you can kind of just like take shortcuts. There's a warning here not to take shortcuts, I think. What we're looking at when we see this here is there's a warning that you have to lay the right foundations. Don't be impatient. You might meet up with somebody and think that you can skip all of the steps, all of the appropriate steps in order to achieve this legacy, but you can't skip the steps. You can't just go from an ace to a 10. You have to actually learn all of the lessons. You can't just do that. You can't just do it. That's not how life works. All of the lessons have to be learned. And if you skip those lessons, what ends up happening is eventually they come back around and you have to learn them the hard way. Or you lose things because you didn't learn those lessons and you end up, doing foolish things because you didn't learn the lessons that you needed to. What else in the present? Three of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, there's healing that needs to happen. That's a part of the work that you have to do. There's healing that you need to do that you are denying yourself to do. Mind, body, spirit. Mind and spirit. Perhaps even the body. And there might be something here that has to do with rehabilitation that you're not doing. You feel like you can just skip over that, gloss over it, achieve legacy and union with someone or in a job or a career of some sort without actually laying the proper foundational work because you think that there's impatience here. It's almost like somebody doesn't feel that they have the time to learn the lessons that they must or to develop in the way that they must. But it's important because there's pain and heartache here that hasn't been healed in the present, or that you're healing in the present that you may have needed to heal in the past and you have ignored it thus far, and it's been a nagging feeling that you had in the past, but now you're starting to realize, there are things that I have moved on from, things that I have healed from. You're starting to recognize that. It doesn't mean that your healing is over, though. There's probably still a lot of healing that has to occur, right? What else? In the present? Last card in the present. Okay. Yeah. There's a romantic piece of communication. You go from a knight in the reverse to a page in the reverse. You realize that there isn't romantic, poetic action that can be taken in the past. So in the present, you don't even communicate your feelings. You're not effectively communicating your feelings. And that's a part of the healing process that needs to be done, is where you realize that you must learn to communicate effectively how you feel. The way that you feel must be communicated effectively, and that is a practical lesson. Communicating how you feel is something that is a practical skill. We don't think it is until we're challenged and we react from a shadow side. Do you know, when we're triggered and we react in that way, we come from our shadow self and we react and we communicate something that we wish we really hadn't, you know. In the future, we have, man, you have like everything is in the reverse, except in your past. Two of Swords in the reverse. So blindfold's coming off in the future for you, Cancer. The realizations are happening for you. I think they're happening slower than you might like, but it seems like everything's happening slower than you like. I think you've grown impatient with the process, but you're not realizing that the process happening slowly is not something that's happening slowly on purpose or to punish you. It's happening so that you have an opportunity to catch up and to really realize the error of your ways, the things that you needed to learn that are necessary. You know what I mean? It's important. The lessons that we learn in life and the things that we haven't yet learned in life, all things come in due time and in due course for a reason. We walk the path that we walk and we stumble across certain things at certain times because they're important to at a certain time when we're ready for them. You know, acceptance of those lessons only happens when we're fully developed and prepared, right? You can't hurry the process. Now what we see here is also the Five of Cups in reverse. So I think that you recognize that maybe there was a foolishness where there was some ingratitude, or somebody might actually be telling you this, because I have this underneath the Page of Pentacles and then also the Eight of Wands, where it's communicated to you that there's a need to exercise gratitude for what you have. You might actually be realizing that you have been ungrateful for certain things that have happened in your life. You might have paid attention to the Three Cups that have spilled over, been focusing on what has been lost rather than what you still have, that you should exercise gratitude over. And you might actually benefit from the exercise of gratitude. That might help you to develop further. The realization comes with the Two of Swords in the reverse. The Two of Swords in the reverse is the taking off of the blindfolds, when we can finally see what's in front of us, the letting down of our guard, the decision to embark on a path when we hit that fork in the road. And what we see here with that Five in the reverse is the realization that those two cups are behind us and that their contents have not yet spilled, while we have all this time and dilly-dallying around focusing on three cups that have been spilt, which is foolish. You know, realize the error of our ways, right? 2 seconds. All right. What else in our future orientation here? And then we'll start to clarify. Okay. And a sword, self-imposed prison. It's a mental prison. It's a mental prison. There's some way that you keep yourself trapped in your mind. There's something that keeps you stuck in your head. You could overthink things a lot. It has to do with this union in the past, in the recent past. And the fact that there is a shaky foundation in the present. You're overthinking it. It's not helping your cause. Somebody might have said something about you being ungrateful or not appreciating something, and it's got you up in your head. Quite literally, it has you up in your head. Or perhaps you have regret over the things that have not turned out for you. And it keeps you trapped in reliving a cycle over and over again. It's one of your own creation now. Eight of Swords is always a self-imposed prison, a self-imposed mental prison. That guy can totally get down anytime he wants. He's choosing to stand up there. His feet are not bound. He might be surrounded by swords, but those swords are not jabbed in him, preventing him from moving forward. So it's like your disaster is of your own design. You want to continuously go back and revisit things. You want to revisit things. You keep on playing things over and over again. It's almost like you firmly believe that if you had second chances or do-overs, that you could go back and you could figure things out differently with people. That's not always the case. Sometimes we're meant to learn lessons from people and move forward and encounter new people and take those lessons and benefit from new relationships. Otherwise, we don't actually move forward and learn anything new. And dwelling on the past, and hopefully this is a realization that you're coming to here. I feel like this is a realization you're coming to here with this Two of Swords in reverse. I think what you're realizing is that you have been repeating yourself, and you've been doomed to repeat yourself over and over again until you learn certain things. But you're not really learning anything because you're consistently returning back to certain things, trying to get a different result with the same people, with the same situations, repeating history. Then a repeating history doesn't change anything. Bang your head against a wall and see if it still hurts. You know? But you keep yourself trapped there. Because you keep on doing the same thing, expecting different results. And you keep on looking at those cups that have spilt over. And hopefully, you're starting to realize that those cups spilt over. I do still have 2 cups that have contents within them. I should be exercising gratitude for what is still intact and moving forward instead of consistently looking back, because it's not serving you. It's not serving you to do so. Reliving old patterns is not serving you. It's clearly not helping you to move into building any sort of legacy or firm foundations with new people. We're seeing that. We're seeing that here. What else? You're keeping yourself trapped by doing that. You are the only person. You are the reason where you are. You are the maker of your own destiny, right? You're the reason why you are where you are and why you're going through what you're going through. And the reason you're going through what you're going through is because you have not exercised gratitude for what you still have. You continuously are looking back, trying to scoop up water that is spilled out on the ground and put it back into cups that have spilled over. Instead of taking up cups that have maintained their contents and carrying them along with you and quenching your thirst with them. You're not doing that. You have people that communicate this to you and you don't listen to them. You get new opportunities and you squander them attempting to look back and see how you're not looking back. Like there's a certain amount of productivity in looking back, but it's only because we're trying to do things differently, not because we're trying to because if you're trying to relive the same thing over and over again, you're going to have the exact same result. You're trying to reproduce the same result, but you're not changing anything about yourself or seeing where you could have done differently, because it is 100% accountability on your side that has to happen. What is your accountability, right? 100% accountability, 0 excuses, right? And blame shifting is excuse making. What is your accountability in a situation? And why is it that you expect a different result if you are consistently lacking, avoiding taking ownership over your station in life? Because if you're not taking ownership over where you are in your current situation, okay, we all have our lot in life and we all are responsible for where we are. And the moment that we choose to take 100% accountability and stop making excuses for why we are where we are is when we begin to grow, and that is when we begin to live. Steering your life in one direction or another is not something that you do by giving somebody else the steering wheel and saying, okay, I'm going to let you drive, and when all of the mistakes are made, I'm going to blame you and say it's all your fault and I couldn't be helped. It couldn't be helped. It wasn't me. The Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Four of Pentacles. Did you hear what I just accidentally said there? The Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, there's self-pity here. But you're spending too much. You might not be in control of your finances as much as you might like. You might really, really, really need to start looking at how you can be more responsible with your finances. There's miserly energy that you're attempting to avoid. But I also think that, this could be just opening yourself up to new possibilities. Not living into default futures or someday realities and squandering things away, allowing your emotional currency to burn a hole in your pocket. Not even your emotional currency, because it is a pentacle, so it is something in the tangible. But the tangible is not just about monetary. It's about what we build in the world for ourselves, how we navigate the world in a practical sense, how we exercise our accountability and our responsibility and our sense of ownership over things in the material world. You know, where we put our feet down on the ground, what action we take, how we accept responsibility for those actions, you know? If not me, who, and if not when, I'm hearing. What else? For Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Okay. We got 2. We got the Devil in the reverse, Temptation, and 7 of Cups options. So there's going to be a test here. I feel there's going to be a test. Devil in the reverse, 7 of Cups in the upright. Excess energy. Living in excess. Temptation. So the Devil is typically in the upright, embracing and learning a profound respect for those things that are our baser human instinct, that rule over our baser human instinct, how we navigate the material world and all of its pleasures, the earthly pleasures, good food, good sex, good wine, travel, shopping, money, the things that you can touch, see, feel, taste in the world. When you have this in the reverse, I mean, and creating a profound respect for those things, learning how to enjoy them in moderation, whereas here in the reverse, this is about excess, abusing those things for your own pleasure or to take advantage of others or to manipulate others with those things. It's either a warning against that, or it signifies that that's what you're doing at this time. Paired up with our 4 of Pentacles, that tells me that you might have a problem with spending too much money on something. Not quite sure what it is. It could be anything. It could be anything. It could be anything. I'm sorry. I'm having a really hard time looking at the camera because it's so far up. This is a very tall table. There we go. That's better. You could actually be having a problem with abusing something that is costing you a significant amount of money. Or you could just be spending too much money on something. Could just be spending too much money, period. Could be a shopaholic. You could be a gambler. I'm also getting healing from addiction. But you want it to happen right away. You don't think you actually have to do the work because the 2 of Wands is there in the reverse. You think that you can just wake up one day and be done and have it all resolved like it wasn't a habit to begin with. And anytime we hit that button that gives us that dopamine hit, I just spent that money on this, I just bought that, I just gambled and I won, or I lost, or I used this substance, you know what I mean, and it gave me that dopamine high, you know? Like all of those kinds of things, you can't just heal overnight, and so being impatient over it isn't serving you. At the end of all of this, you also have options that are being afforded you. Options of an emotional nature. But also a harbinger in and of itself that you could be building castles in the air, or some of these options could be building castles in the air for you by creating this beautiful imaginative future that might never ever come to fruition for you. You know, you have to carefully weigh the pros and the cons of all of your choices before you do actually decide to move forward with one or the other. And having options is wonderful and everything, but the point is to be guided in your decision making towards what is the right thing. Don't be tempted to go after something just because it's pretty, or because it's glittery, or because it provides you that dopamine hit that we're seeing here with these two. Could be that somebody has money and that is something that is enticing to you. Could be that somebody allows you to get away with spending more money than you normally would, or they don't bother you about gambling, or they don't bother you about the excess in life that you're tempted to partake in. They don't pressure you to heal or to move on or to be mature in your emotional communications. They don't have expectations, or rather standards, I feel is a better word. They might not have the standards that would push you to heal or want to be a better person. And you should just want to be a better person anyways, because that's important. We all are here on a journey to evolve and become better people. That's not something that you meet somebody and want to do. That's something that you should just want to do because that's what we're here to accomplish, is to become more well-rounded, better people, to perfect our souls, not because of, because we meet somebody who inspires that in us. I mean, it's great to meet somebody who inspires you to be a better person, but at the end of the day, that person can't consistently be dragging you along that journey. They're going to have days where they need to want to be their own better person, You have to be inspired on your path on your own, especially on those days when they have their own thing. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. This has got to do with the material world, for sure. The overall energy here is saying that with the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, the overall energy is that you're feeling bankrupted. I don't necessarily know that it's a financial thing, but there's some lack of wealth of spirit, or a lack of wealth in some manner. You're feeling disconnected from your legacy. And you're trying to get back to a place where you're on your way to achieving legacy. And being on your way to achieving legacy, of course, has amazing kickbacks and side effects, such as dressing in finery. But that path, the path towards legacy, is still there, waiting for your ships to come in, all that kind of stuff. You still have to achieve all of the other things first. The Ace through the 8, the hard work, the sowing the seeds, the reaping the rewards, the balance, achieving the balance of the 6. There are so many things that you have to accomplish. The respect for what it's like to work hard and still be left out in the cold. And realizing that it's a choice rather than a reality. And that's why you're sitting in the reverse in the overall energy. Let's shed some light on this situation for you. If we hit the cosmic mirror, we're going to have to go ahead and we're going to have to go into the shadows and see what's going on. Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I almost don't even want to clarify this. It's so straightforward. It's just so simple. And it's almost like keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. I legit don't want to clarify this reading. Like, I don't think I'm going to throw down on every single line here. I don't think I'm going to throw down on every card here. I don't think I have to. seems quite self-evident, I'm hearing. You've spent so much time putting energy towards things that were of no consequence or of no avail or were never going to change. I'm hearing in some ways, through no fault of your own, sometimes you expected that was going to be the case and it was going to change, and it never did. But sometimes it was something that you did have control over, where you sat in a victimhood energy. Things are never going to change, but you weren't really doing anything to change them yourself. 100% responsibility, 0 excuses. Okay, well, one just dropped when I said that. We have to grab it, but we're still going to twist for fairness. Yeah. You're looking for your plenty. It's almost like you feel like you never actually had the opportunity for that, but we know that's not true because we all have those opportunities. We don't live in the third world. Right? We're very fortunate to be living in North America and have the opportunity for the pursuit of happiness. Yeah. So the conflict that you were dealing with in the recent past has to do with love, has to do with self-love, has to do with a relationship of some sort that you're waiting for a peace offering. Somebody told you you needed to work on yourself, and you tried to feign perhaps that you had worked on yourself. See, look at me, I'm doing all the work. I worked on mind, body, and spirit. See, here, I've changed. That's what that peace offering is there. Give me another chance. There's a union here. That union here, 2 cups. The reason you're going into this union is because you see a happy home life in the future with it. You thought that it was your happy home life. Or in the past there was a union where there was a happy home life situation. You not only felt that, but you also felt that it was a part of your legacy. We have them doubled up there, the 10 of Pentacles doubled up. But because you had work to do, there was apathy, disappointment, abandonment, loss, grief that you felt because you hadn't worked on something to do with yourself. You hadn't worked on something in the mind, body, spirit space. And so when the cup from the universe came along, you weren't prepared for it. What's this Knight of Cups in the reverse? I almost feel like that's why anyways. Because 3 of Cups, because there was celebration. Nobody's coming. There's no parade, nobody's coming. You realize that you have to do this all on your own. Because, and that's cause for celebration. It's a cause for celebration, realizing that you have to do this on your own. Because it takes burden off of you. The burden of having to be responsible for others, perhaps. There's freedom in that. I'm hearing over here, there's freedom in that. What is this lack of equilibrium, justice in the present? Justice in the reverse. I can't take all of those, guys. Okay, well, that one stayed on the board. So because this one stayed on the board, we're going to take it. The Lovers in the reverse. Okay. In the present, you're experiencing a lack of fairness, lack of truth. There might be something of dishonesty that has to do with a choice in love. And the communication about that. What's the communication about that? Gemini energy. So in between Gemini and Libra season. The choice in love was a Gemini, in between a Gemini and a Libra. Okay. There was another person. There was another person involved and it was communicated to you. Or, conversely, there was a woman scorned involved that forced you to make a choice or communicated something to you. Tell us more. Tell us more. What did this Queen of Wands in the reverse? Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. More than likely an Aries, Leo. Deception, treachery. There was no firm foundation because there was something found out about deception and treachery. Something going on behind somebody's back. I thought this Queen of Wands busted you doing something or communicated to you a truth about a choice in love. Dishonesty. Dishonesty. And that rocked your foundation. Yeah, and then a contract that you believed, a new beginning that you thought was going to happen in the present didn't happen as a result. Just beginnings, contracts, career stuff. Yeah. You might have been thinking that there was a job offer that was going to come in and it didn't come in because of a woman scorned in a relationship. You were romantically involved with somebody potentially. And this could be male or female. You're romantically involved with somebody, and potentially because you either had more than one thing going on at once, or because you chose somebody over somebody else. This contract, this new job did not begin, this career did not move forward. Beginnings on the earthly plane. The leader came in, the boss came in and said no. Gatekeeper, ruler with a firm hand, Aries energy. They said you would not move forward. And it caused impatience in you. So I might have been protecting somebody here. They might have realized there was dishonesty at play and that you had healing to do and work to do. This angered you. This angered you. Piscean energy. There's that Pisces that I was talking about, and there's more Leo here. They found out that you had anger you needed to heal. They found out a secret about anger. Your inability to control your anger. And they forced you to go within and realize that you needed to control your anger, or they saw you lose your temper. They were supposed to keep it a secret. They did not. There's illumination here about something that was supposed to last forever. Do you see 0 to infinity? Something was supposed to last forever. Temptation. Substance. There's substance as well. More powerful than they can supply. The realization you're coming to is that you have to save your money. You have to start to pool your resources. And then it is by the grace of a stroke of luck that you are afforded the opportunity to reevaluate and understand gratitude again. And thank God for those 2 cups when the other 3 have spilt over. Fixed energy. Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo. What is this stuff that you're supposed to be exercising gratitude over? Something that you had to go inward to find. You needed to go inward and have time to yourself to realize. You're now coming out of that during Virgo season. You had come out of that, or a Virgo individual had to go within and are now coming out of your shell after learning some harsh lessons or having to seek inner truth. Potentially you were the one that was the cause of your problems. There's work to be done. That you had work to be done. There's work to be done. You're stuck in that mental prison because there's work to be done. Divorce. Reestablishing of traditional belief systems, philosophies that you held on to very tightly. Somebody could have been married for money here. There's a warning in the future about this too. Divorce and money. Losing money through divorce or through gambling or temptation and options. Adultery and draining resources, financial abuse. The lack of belief system, collapse of a belief system, or traditionalist beliefs, structures, highly structured organizations, religious organizations. You don't want to walk away. You feel there's unfinished business. Because something didn't start. There wasn't a new beginning in a relationship as you had hoped. Somebody was defensive or on guard with the 9 of Wands. Somebody was defensive and on guard, willing to fight. And then it puts you right back into that 5 of Cups energy again. Looking at past things that have spilt over, consistently looking at them, beating a dead horse, not willing to recognize the cups that still have their contents intact. What about these options? You're going back over options that are empty cups. Yeah, what did I tell you? Unfinished business. You're on the merry-go-round of crazy. You keep on doing the same thing, expecting different results. Overall energy, holy shit. You keep on doing the same thing, expecting different results. Things don't end. Things aren't ending. Things aren't ending. Things aren't ending because you keep on thinking that you can just continuously go back and go back and go back and go back. But it's not resulting in anything any different for you. You keep returning to the scene of the crime, expecting it to have changed. But if you always do everything always the same, you involve yourself with the same people over and over again. You keep going back to the same places, expecting different things, when it's the exact same thing that it's always been. It's never going to change. You're not doing anything new. You're not learning anything new. We're only truly dead when we stop learning. Scorpio energy there. Okay. It's time that you put the old to bed and you start moving forward. It's time to move forward. It's time to move forward. You're never going to learn anything new accepting, new outcomes from old results or old situations. New outcomes out of old situations. Let's get some no bullshit advice. Not that this was any different. I think this was probably pretty harsh reading. I'm sorry. But it's like here. It's all here. You can see it. There's no gray. It's all black and white. It's all black and white. Super black and white here. Keep on going back. You keep on going back. But nothing changes. Nothing changes. The more things change, the more they stay the same for you. You think that you change your scenery, it's going to change something for you, but you got the same people that you're dealing with, or you change the people you're dealing with, but you're going back to the same places, or you're going back to the different places, different people, but you keep on doing the same things over and over again, thinking that things are going to change, and they're never going to change. They're never going to change as long as you do not move forward. If you keep on looking back here, are you going to see anything any different? I mean, I'm very impassioned about this. And the reason I'm very impassioned about this is because you're not taking accountability for your role in things. You just keep on going back, believing that if I go back and I give somebody else another chance, as if somebody else or something else needs to be reevaluated over again. But where's your accountability for your part? Yeah, okay, wheels. You know? Cosmic. But it's true. Messages. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Mars, and Venus. That's too many. Well, now we have two that stuck on the board. We're going to take them. Okay. So first things first, we have be fucking grateful. I think we already talked about that. Shit could be so much worse. So much worse. Yeah. And then step away from the crazy-making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina tastes like ass. Yeah, eat some yummy shit. Bacon, chocolate, beer. Get some. I think that, yeah, do something different. Always doing the same thing. Always doing the same thing. Always doing the same thing. Expecting different results. What are you doing to change your present circumstances? Okay. What is your affirmation? It's going to get you through November. Affirmation for November. And we're doing this again. Just dropped one on the floor while I'm trying to shuffle. Okay. That's yours. We're going to do that. And I'll go and I'll grab it and I'll be done with. And then we'll grab you some poetry too. I am strong. I am strong. Is that why you won't move forward? Because you're worried that you're not going to be able to handle new things? Because, I feel like you kind of been putting yourself through a whole lot of pain for no reason. I am strong. All right. Magnetic poetry, and then we're done. Okay, Cancer. Saw the word journey when I looked down. Yeah, you got to change your journey. You have to change your direction. This is you too. Only 2 words. Maybe it's got to do with your health. Maybe it's got to do with a nickname that you call somebody, a pet name. There's something in here. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry I had to be such a jerk, but sometimes you have to be a jerk to people for them to understand. Or, I mean, it's not even really that. I don't even think I'm being a jerk. I'm just reading what's here. And dare I say it? There I said it. You know? It's like, I mean, this is what's actually here. I really hope things work out. I wish nothing but the best for you. Thanks for watching. Come back for your love read. And please be well. Thanks, Cancer. Bye now. Here's your spread, man. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. Have fun with that. Bye.